Hello everyone, I am Michiko S. Aseron, and I am here to talk about how we navigated teaching physical education in the pandemic and how we championed the challenges of teaching physical activities in the remote learning setup. So before my discussion, let me give you a background of what I do. Okay, I am an assistant professor at the UP College of Human Kinetics. I am also the current director of the UP-CHK Community Recreations Program, now we call the Kinetica by UP-CHK. Aside from that, I also handle practicum students and educate them on how to teach physical education in different levels. Before my sharing, let us look into what is happening now in our educational system.
Ma'am Michiko, paki-explain ka ragud sa amo ug unsa man ang remote learning.
So when we say remote learning, it means that the teacher and the students are not in one venue and they do not see each other face to face or personally. So we as teachers, lalo na dito sa Pilipinas, we are trained to handle and manage classroom full of students, tapos nakikita physically, and in the advent of this online learning and remote learning, very challenging siya to meet where the students are. Even us as teachers, medyo magkaroon din ng a bit of adjustment because there are many things that we are not ready about doing it. We are not ready about doing remote learning at the onset, okay?
Hi Ma'am Michiko, unsa da ang mga kalisod or pagsulay na imong natagamtaman sa pagtudlo sa online or remote learning? Ma'am, paki-explain ragud ko unsa ng remote learning?
We all know that in physical activities, there are always inherent risks involved, diba? Kasi in a face-to-face class, we are able to correct the forms of our students, their techniques, their movements, and their way of learning the activity. Also, the students get a chance to interact with other classmates that enrich the experience of the movement activity. Okay, but in a remote learning setup, there are difficulties for us to check what they are doing as teachers. Syempre, di ba? Nakakulong lang tayo dun sa screen. So, hindi naman lahat nakikita sa screen, di ba? Aside from that, hindi rin natin na-check yung techniques nila. Pero hindi ibig sabihin, hindi natin kinaya or kakayanin pa ang pagtuturo ng physical activities at physical education. Dahil ganito yung setup. Diba? Ang sinabi ko kanina, birth pains. Meaning, it gives birth to something beautiful. Hindi man ito yung nakasanayan natin, but it breeds something beautiful and powerful, empowering to both the teacher and the students. So let us not think of the negative because we are Filipinos, we are very resilient, and yes, we are resourceful. So yes, there were challenges, but it is also a time for redirection and more learning discovery of best practices. So as a physical educator and handler of practicum teachers who would become PE teachers in the next years, okay? We should always instill that positivity amidst the great challenge is still a possibility, okay? Positivity to possibility, okay? Lagi natin tatandaan yan. Okay? Because everything is possible. So we have settled two these perspectives that are both compassionate and respectful.
Ma'am, pwede nimo saysay ang mga maayong panghitabo sa imong pagtudlo sa imong mga tinun-an lakip na sa physical na edukasyon?
Let me share to you our experiences of triumphs and best practices. Number 1, okay? From proper technique to instilling the value of fighting in activity. So as PE teachers, there are moments that we tend to focus more on the forms, the movement, the rules of the game, and the proper execution. So with this challenge of lockdown and not being able to have room for more free movements, okay, our lessons had become proactive. So we encourage our students to fight daily physical activities. So instead of pure techniques or rules of the game, okay, yung focus namin, we shifted to the exercises that can be done at home with their families and encourage them to do movement breaks. Alam naman natin that in this type of setup, isa sa nakakalimutan natin ay yung gumalaw-galaw because lagi nakaupo, nagtatype, or nagsusulat. And because of this challenge na nagawa nating positive, we are able to instill the value of fighting daily physical activity and letting them learn the importance of constant movement even in the comforts of their own homes. Next one, this pandemic or this remote learning setup bred creativity and resourcefulness. Because of the limited access to materials and equipment, both the students and the teachers have upped the game of creativity. So they use materials that can be found at home, diba? In exercises, kung walang dumbbells, we use water bottles. Or we use anything na nakakita sa bahay. Yan. Or we make makeshift rackets kasi walang raketa, hindi naman nakakalabas, diba? For sports. Or pag may kailangan naman bola, we use road socks, ganyan, and baskets and cartons as hoops. Okay. Diba? Ang galing-galing talaga natin. The third best practice and triumph that I want to share with you is inclusivity. Okay, we try to make the activities inclusive for all. Okay, for all levels, for all ages. Some of our activities, we encourage them to be joined by their siblings or their parents or their family members. So it is beautiful to see the family working together and exercising together. So instead of just instilling the value of fighting physical inactivity to the students, we extended them to the whole family. So nakapag-exercise na sila, nakapag-bonding pa. Kaya ang ganda-ganda. And the next one, I think the heart of the triumph, diba, nitong remote learning is the development of more compassion and integrity. Sabi ko nga kanina, hindi namin nakikita lagi kung ano yung ginagawa ng estudyante kasi minsan patay yung camera nila kasi hindi naman kinakaya ng internet. Or pag may mga asynchronous activities or assignments, syempre, hindi namin alam kung napapatupad talaga nila yung mga binigay na activities. But we learned more to trust our students and we have learned to practice more compassion. So we give compassion and we trust them and we dedicate our work to them. But now, during the remote learning and COVID breakout, we hit an extra mile. So everyone has stories to tell and conditions to face and experiences. So in giving instructions and requirements, we uphold the battle cry of UP na utak at puso.